So a while ago, I was looking up erotic dragon fanfiction for my D&D group when I came across this story on DeviantArt, My Love of Dragons, written by Yu-Gi-Oh! 061, aka Nicholas Schneider. This story has become so near and dear to my heart that I want more people to enjoy its majesty. So today, I'm going to be summarizing and trying to show you why I love it so much. Ready? Let's go. So, the story starts as we're introduced to our protagonist self-insert character, Nick. I'm not sure how old he is, so we're just going to go with this completely random picture. Nick spends the first bit of the story going over his day in excruciating detail. From playing Spyro on his PlayStation 2 to listening to a Spyro and Cinder tribute of My Heart Will Go On by Journey of Shadow on YouTube in the shower, getting his mom full of applesauce, wrapping his medicine full of Dr. Pepper, grabbing his work sandwich at work, saying finally twice, arrive at Nick's humble abode, his reason for existence, his Walgreens. Yeah, the story isn't quite ready yet. So from there, he describes going inside, saying hello to everyone there, punching a code, going to the kitchen, breaks his, looking at boxes and items. Nothing is romanticized or made more exciting than it is. It's literally half his whole day working at Walgreens. So just like this segment, this part of the story was running a little long. But finally, at over 2,000 words in, Nick walks outside and we see dragons. Hallelujah! We meet these dragons named
Kyle
and
Sherry.
Nick salivates over them, so they decide to take him home with them, provided he doesn't tell anyone where they live or poo on the rug. So Nick goes with them and meets some other dragons before they go and meet the goddamn president.
What? Okay, I'm so down as long as we don't go back to Walgreens again.
Yeah, so they meet the president and are like, yo, war is bad, and Obama is like, okay. And the dragons are like, let's stop it. And the prez is like, okay. So the dragons and Obama go solve world peace while Nick goes back to work at Walgreens. Fuck! We smash cut a couple months later when Kyle and Sherry are killed by some bad dudes with ballistae. Nick senses this through the force somehow and has a heart attack that nearly kills him. And while he's recovering, he's kidnapped by some dragons who want to execute him because they think he's a traitor. Just as they're about to kill him, Nick starts glowing and Spyro and Cinder and some other guys just appear. So backtrack, Nick keeps having these dream segments where the text goes all sideways and Nick power trips over the characters from dragon-related media. After the third or fourth, I started skipping them because nothing that happens in them ever affects the plot. But little did I know, this universe is nuts! So get this right, Nick exists in our universe, but he has a kind of demi-plane that he has absolute control over, so he modeled it after a bunch of dragon media and created his favorite characters into, but somehow he can project these characters in the real world, and they have their own consciousness, which they say Nick gave them, but they all love Nick undyingly, and a little while later, after getting Nick some Dr. Pepper, a bunch of bad boys ballistae show up, and the dragons fight, and it's real intense, until Nick ruins it all by summoning Smog, who brutally
Scares
all the humans to
tears.
And they capture the enemy general, a dude named Ryan that Nick works with at Walgreens and is inexplicably a dragon slayer. They take him to court and get him sentenced for a long time, but just before he gets taken away, he's like, hey, fuck you, and shoots Nick. Spyro gets real mad and edgy, but it turns out Nick survived. Bad boy edgy Spyro is too edgy though, so Nick has to beat the bad down and absorb it out of Spyro into himself. And the story ends by him telling the darkness that because of the friends he's got, it will never control him. Tune in next time when Nick gets taken over by the darkness. There's honestly so much to talk about with Nick's work, like all the doxing he does to himself, plot hooks that go nowhere, like Nick's ultimate weakness of dragon stomachs, how the worlds are not actually figments of his imagination, and actually real universes that he physically goes to, and also that Nick is the Dragon Messiah, Superman, and King of all dragons, and his godlike abilities are fueled by Dr. Pepper. I know that a lot of this is making fun of Nick and his writing, but I really love him and his stories so much. There's something to admire in how, even if he's clearly not the best writer, he's writing exactly what he wants to. I've wanted to do something like this with Nick's story, but I thought I just couldn't do it. I'm no YouTuber after all, but Nate let out his call to action and I made a promise that I would just do it. I'll make it work with life and everything else, so if this gets into the film festival, I want to dedicate it to Nick Schneider, because just like me, he made a fucking thing. This has been Yu-Gi-Oh! 061 Fanboy on DeviantArt, also known as Naira, signing off.